Wingflex have just sent me their A320 FCU cube to review for you, which at the time of recording this video will cost you approximately £200. The cube comes well packaged, with an instruction booklet, 2 support legs with decent rubber feet in order to stop it from sliding about, a screwdriver style Allen key, which I really like, a USB-C cable, which is about 2 meters long, and the required screws in order to attach them. And finally, at the back of the device is the single USB-C port, and the cable simply connects from there directly into your PC or hub. Furthermore, there are 2 adjustable knobs located underneath the cube in order to increase or decrease the display and backlight. Presumably the 2 dials underneath could, if you wanted, double up as a riser if you chose not to utilise the 2 feet that are supplied. But actually I don't think it is designed to work without the feet, for obvious reasons. And having now attached them and used the cube with them attached, I actually don't think I would ever want to consider the alternative anyway. In addition to the cube, Wingflex also have a selection of Airbus and Boeing devices, including a full A320 FCU and EFIS replica, and they also have a selection of MCDUs for both Boeing and Airbus coming out very soon. They are currently in the pre-sale stage, with a 90-day lead time on those. When I initially plugged the display in, it did nothing at all. There was no indication that it was working. Thankfully, downloading the necessary software from Wingflex was all that I needed to do in order to get it to work in each of my flight simulators. I will mention that Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024 took considerably longer to connect than Microsoft Flight Simulator 20 or X-Plane, but a little bit of patience seemed to be all that was required, and it is compatible with the vast majority of flight sims that include an Airbus aircraft, including but not limited to all the X-Plane and Microsoft Flight Simulator versions. For testing purposes, I placed the cube on top of my honeycomb yoke, and the feet on the cube, combined with the texture that covers the honeycomb, seemed to work perfectly. The cube never budged at all. Looking at the design of the feet, I think it could be possible to mount them directly onto a solid surface. You might be able to put some screws through the holes in the bottom of the feet and secure them, but I didn't really feel there was any need to try and do this. Now I understand that the overall scale of the cube is actually smaller than that of the real Airbus device, but everything feels authentic and the displays are bright, vibrant and clearly legible regardless of light conditions. The cube consists of an extremely high build quality across the board. The housing is all aluminium construction, and each of the dials and buttons feel extremely responsive with no noticeable lag in-game. I tested a number of different flight simulators and aircraft. Microsoft Flight Simulator 2024's default in-builds A320, A321 Beluga and the Fenix A320 all worked as expected. It's a dedicated Airbus device, and as such it will not work with non-Airbus aircraft. But what is absolutely categorically true was that it transformed my Airbus flying experience completely. Generally speaking, I prefer to fly GA aircraft, primarily because I feel they are more involved, but also in part due to the simulation gear that I currently own, which tends to better suit GA aircraft from an immersion perspective. Immersion is an extremely important factor to flight simulation for me. However, now being able to interact with the A320 by using the cube in real time and having the added bonus of being able to replicate the movement and the actions of real A320 pilots in what is still considered to be a budget-friendly simulator setup, I have to admit it was totally transformative. To be 100% clear, I have never really enjoyed flying an Airbus or any passenger jet quite as much as I have since I started using the cube, and I very much doubt I would ever want to fly one without it again. From an immersion perspective, it's probably the most immersive add-on to my flight sim rig since I first got a yoke and throttle. So other than boosting my immersion levels, it also dramatically speeds up my work and reaction processing times and makes the entire interaction with the A320 a considerably more enjoyable experience because I don't have to use the mouse. I am making far less mistakes. I am far more excited at the prospect of taking on more complex landing challenges, and I'm even considering pushing myself to try handling some failures mid-flight. It really has made the A320 a plane that I really desperately want to learn how to fly more and more. So £200 for some is going to be a lot to invest into what many would call something along the lines of being a simulation hobby. But the build quality here is excellent. There is no question about that at all. Firmware updates will ensure that it continues to work alongside any updates in the future, and it is also so useful. It's like having a second pilot assisting you, and that for me is what transformed my Airbus flying experience. It is so good and so effective that it literally has transformed the Airbus flying experience to a point where I actually prefer flying Airbus over GA aircraft, and that is something I never thought I would say. I am seriously enjoying having it, and thank you so much to Wingflex for allowing me the opportunity to review this device. I highly recommend it, and I cannot wait to see what they do with the MCDUs. The cost of all these items together may be expensive, but the quality is undeniable. Thank you for watching. Please hit the like button and let me know if you have any thoughts or questions. I'll be happy to answer them. Take care till next time. Goodbye for now.